I recently started listening to Gary Keller's The One Thing, and I know I'm a little bit late to the draw on that one, perhaps because there's just so many books to read. But the other reason is the title, which it's a good title, and at the same time it's a little unfortunate, because when you see The One Thing, you're pretty much thinking to yourself already, oh, okay, so I know what this book's about. And it sort of like satisfies the curiosity that the content of the book is supposed to satisfy. So it's just one of those titles, and you have to get over yourself and actually start delving into it to understand why it's one thing and the benefits of the one thing and the myth of doing many things and multitasking and so forth. So you know me, like I've been talking lots about productivity, especially with the launch of Productivity, Performance, Profits Black Book. So I find myself going through a lot more material at a faster speed, just so I can see what else is out there and understand it. Like I have a system that works, and it works very well because of what I've been able to accomplish at points. And yet I know there are seasons where things aren't working for me. It's like the things that I say are most important just aren't happening. And I'm not making progress where I want to be making it. So the book got me back on track in a big way, because now I wasn't thinking in terms of, let's just keep expanding, let's keep adding more, I can take it on, I'm awesome. Like, I'm in a leadership program where we are in discovery of expansion. That's part of the reason why I think I've adopted sort of these superhuman habits, even knowing that like I'm not Superman. And sometimes it is just like too much. But I was noticing my to-do lists, and I was like, it's getting out of hand. And there's a bunch of stuff on there that technically really should not take that long to do. And yet somehow the more items are on there, the more scattered I feel and the more dispersed my energy feels. And I think that's really only natural. Because you're going to spend time, especially when it's sitting there right in front of you, you're going to spend time throughout the day thinking about those tasks. So consider the difference between there's one or two, maybe three items on your to-do list, and you're constantly seeing that in front of you all day, versus there's 10, 20, 30 items sitting on your to-do list, staring back at you all day. I think the psychological impact is clear. That when there are fewer items there, you're better able to allocate the right mental resources to the tasks at hand. And so I've really only had, let's say, 2 major priorities on any given day, and then maybe 1 to 3 very small to-do items on any given day. And this has worked so well for me. Like, I knew I had probably 10 to 20,000 additional words to write for Productivity, Performance, Profits Black Book. And I've been keeping to the schedule of like 1 or 2 major projects in a day type schedule. And I've been finding that it's not that challenging for me to get through 2,000 to 5,000 words in a day. Like, this thing could be licked by the end of the week. And that really came from stopping to think about, like, what is the one thing that would make all things or all other things irrelevant? At the very least, insignificant. Because I think there's a difference. Irrelevant means, like, if you complete this task, all those smaller tasks don't matter anymore, and you won't even have to come back to them. Insignificant to me means they don't matter as much and never will matter as much as the main task. So I had a lot of things going, and I had to set them aside. I was posting to social media every single day, and I was making these shorts and reels, and I was like, well, it doesn't take that long, and I'm also just taking content that exists and turning it into shorts and reels, and yet somehow, that would end up taking 20 to 30 minutes, and then the average person ends up losing, 15, 20 minutes on task switching, right? And unfortunately, I think I've come to the point where task switching very rarely takes me that long. And yet I think there is still a bit of an impact of going from one thing to the next and then yet another thing. On a day when there's very few things to go between, way less mental energy is wasted and time on task switching. And I think this will be my approach moving forward, because I find it kind of sucks to work on 1 hour of this and 2 hours of that and 1 hour of the other thing. It just doesn't get the main thing done. And there's always going to be something else waiting on the other side of it. But if you can get to the point where you're finishing a book or the last 20,000 words of a book in a week, or if you're getting to the point of writing a brand new song, recording it, editing it, and mixing it in a matter of a week versus just kind of plugging away at it bit by bit, day by day, then you will find that you can tackle many one things over the course of the year, not just one. So is it recommended reading? Yeah, I think it is. And you know me, I'm often skeptical of these things. There are some very poorly written and badly articulated success books out there, productivity books, marketing books, sales books, leadership books, you name it. There are bad ones out there. This is one of the good ones. And if you do follow what's inside of it, I think you will see your life drastically improve as an artist. It's coming up fast and there's no time. Clean Slate 2024 is coming up fast, February 16th in Victoria, BC. You don't want to miss out on this incredible live music and multimedia event with a dosage of inspiration to light you up creatively and to have an amazing 2024. Once again, that's Clean Slate. You don't want to miss out. Go to davidandrewweeb.com and you'll either have the option to get updates, win tickets, or buy tickets as soon as they go on sale. So once again, I invite you to go to davidandrewweeb.com and get your tickets right away. See you there.